Welcome back to Better, everyone. I still have goosebumps talking about our next guest because I cannot believe that they're here. They're American music icons and one of the most enduring and influential teams in the music industry. She is a pioneer for women in rock.
That's right. He is a guitarist, a songwriter, a producer, and he has been with her every step of the way. We want to welcome Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo to the studio. Great to have you guys.
I know, in the flesh. It's still tripping me out, though. Like, you know, when you listen to someone's music and then you physically see them right here, and we were listening to them warm up, and just, it's an out-of-body experience.
And you must hear that all the time, the people who grew up with your music, and it was so influential to them and in their lifetime. Do you know when you're making the music, when you're recording those songs, hey, this is the soundtrack of somebody's adolescence or their young adult life?
We're not thinking of that. Y'all are thinking of that. We're just doing it, but it is really one of the coolest parts. People say it to you all the time.
You've been, you've sold over, was it 30 million albums? You have been married for a little over 30 years. 30 is a good number for you, too.
It is.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 4 Grammys. And then I was told by a little birdie that you were the second act ever seen on MTV and that you were the first guitarist ever to appear on MTV.
Correct. That's what makes us
we're-
really old.
We're older
And we
than
were
dirt.
really young then, too.
Amazing. What do you think back to those days at all? Like when you, the first of you know, MTV's, anything at all, especially when you see how MTV is now?
Yeah, I mean, it was so long ago, but I mean, you still remember it, and it was just, you know, you really didn't have any idea what you were doing. You were just doing it, having fun. We didn't even know that the thing would last more than a year, the TV station, or us. I mean, we didn't have any idea, so.
They improved a lot of stuff, like hair products.
Yeah.
I started off as a greaser like this. By the time the shoot was done, 8 hours later, I
yeah,
had
it was like,
puffy
oh,
head.
it's fake.
I looked like,
Different.
Yeah.
looked like Justin
Yeah.
Bieber. So I started off as a greaser and then I disappeared somehow.
Some people would think that the amount of togetherness you guys have would be tough to make 30 years work. You live together, obviously, you have kids together, and then you're on the road together. Right. How do you have to set boundaries? How do you make that work? So much togetherness for so long.
It's been 33, almost 34 years,
Yeah,
so that's a long time.
So, I don't know. He's really nice. That helps.
helps.
He's real easygoing, so that really helps. This is the only way we met like this. This is the only way we know how to do it. As a matter of fact, when we're not together, we're kind of stupid. Doesn't work. Like
Stupid
we're missing a
miss
part.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
kind of a weird thing.
Yeah.
There's no
very
you
strange.
without her and no her without
No,
you.
it's kind of
It's
sick.
the way it's always been. It's like, it's,
And you have 2 daughters, 18 and 27 years old,
Yes,
right?
uh-huh,
Okay, what do they
yes.
think about mom and dad? And do they really realize your iconic status? Do they get it?
Only when they
at all?
want to get into a concert or something and they need like better seats or you know
Really?
something like that. Otherwise, no, this is like a nuisance to them. They're like, really,
it's
mom,
not
really,
good.
Papa, like,
Yeah.
they think we're geeks.
That's the only time they call us in the morning, 8:30 in the morning. Papa, can you get us tickets for this? Papa, do you know this person, Papa?
No way.
Otherwise, it's
Otherwise,
like,
no.
you never hear from them.
Just mom and dad,
You're not
that's it,
cool
right?
until
You're
you're a
not cool.
connection.
Not at
Then when you're a
all.
connection.
No,
But you took them on the road a little bit when they were young, right?
Oh, sure. When they were babies, 6 months old, both of them,
Each
they
one,
went, yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Okay, so that's a totally new definition
gotta
of
figure
working
that out,
parents.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How do you do that? How do you take babies on the road with you? And I mean,
Like, did
it's
you have a lot
tiring
of
enough
help?
to be touring the world as rock and roll stars.
Yeah.
Well, the second one was easy because then it was like, 10 years later, we knew how to do it. The first one, I have to tell you, was a nightmare because no handbook. I remember when I spoke to Chrissy Hine once, and she had just had Natalie, and we were backstage somewhere, and I said, how are you doing this? She goes, I'm not. Neither was I. I mean, you're just dragging babies and cribs and stuffed animals, and God forbid you leave that favorite thing in the dressing room. You have people like, your entire crew is running around going crazy looking for, nudie baby or something,
Right.
We'll give an example of Halloween. What Halloween would be like would be the crew and the band would all be in different rooms, dressed up, and we'd take our little daughter and she would knock on the door. That's what
Tour,
Halloween was,
'cause,
because
we were
we're always
working
touring
and
so
so-
much.
Yeah. See, you made it work, though.
Made it work,
you
yeah.
did. You had to be
Every
creative,
time, yeah.
and it was hilarious.
Okay, we have a couple of tout questions. Well, we got a lot of people who sent their questions in for you, but we only have time for, I think, 2 of them.
For a couple of them, yeah.
Here is the first one, okay?
Hey, Pat, this is an honor to talk to you. I had a question. What would be your favorite band that you ever toured with over the years? Just curious who you had the most fun with and who maybe you learned the most from.
Favorite
Band you toured with?
Well, we toured with quite a few. I'm going to say there's not really one specific favorite, but everybody has its own kind of character. I like Steve Miller. We like Steve Miller because he looks like a truck driver, so do I. So backstage, I didn't even know it was him. So we're walking around and we're just talking and stuff like that. And then he goes, I'm Steve, by the way. I go, oh, hey, I'm Neil. Hey, Neil. And then we got along
amazing.
really well. And he's such a great guy, and it's great music.
I love it. And you guys are ready to go on tour with Journey, right?
Yeah.
Later on this month? How exciting is
Yeah,
that?
the stamina that must take to go back out on tour. After all these years, I mean, have you stopped touring, or is this a new?
No, it's the
never,
17th
never.
summer in a row.
17th
Yeah.
summer in a
Do
row.
you ever get tired of touring? Do you want to just
You ever think,
sit
oh, we're
someplace
just taking
and
the summer off?
Yeah.
We're gonna get a place in the Hamptons.
Right.
Forget it.
Well, I'd like to take the summer off, but we don't get tired of touring. Playing live is still pretty much the most seductive part of
That's
what
the
we
easy
do. so.
part.
I like
It's
it.
all the other, the traveling is
Yeah, the
hard
traveling
part.
is like insane, but playing is great still.
Showing up and performing in somebody's studio first thing in the morning.
Right.
That's the
Yeah,
tough
yeah,
part.
yeah,
right?
no, this
Playing
was,
golf
yeah.
is the tough part too.
Yeah, exactly. We got
Not that
one
we
more
play
question from our viewers for you.
We do.
Hey, Pat Benatar. Pop quiz. What is your favorite song today? Thanks.
Do you have a?
Well, no, she's asking
How
you.
about the Jack White
Well,
song?
yeah, I love Jack White. I think
I love
he's a
him
brilliant
too.
guitar player.
Yeah.
He's got this little song called "I'm Shaking."
Yeah.
which is-
Okay,
which is
I'm
a
picking
real-
that too.
That's a real
Because
good
that's
one.
really good.
You just made Jack White's day.
There you go.
on TV.
Thank you guys.
Need to help
He
him.
doesn't need
He's
help.
working. He's doing all right. So.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good boy.
Thank
I
you
like
so
him.
much for being here. Really appreciate it.
These two are going to
you.
go and set up for a very special performance that you do not want to miss. Meanwhile, the Tour with Journey kicks off July 21st. Go to our website for the links to cities where you can see them live, because live is what it's all about.
Absolutely. And you can find out a lot more about Pat's life in her book. We didn't even get a chance to talk about it, so
Oh.
you got to go buy it. It's called Between a Heart and a Rock Place.